I do apologise about that. I mean, I've had to upload now in two parts. So the first part was just me sharing all my die cuts and stuff, and I don't know why, but my camera totally cut out. So I really do hope that it's recording now. So that was really odd. So anyway, I do apologise. And I hope you've seen the first part to understand. Right, so I've glued this, and then the next thing that you need to do is take your larger circle, and we are going to glue onto this circle. Now, I'm going to try and lift up my camera just a little bit there. Hopefully that's going to fit in now. Yeah, you can see that. And all you have to do is bend it around your circle and glue it. Now, I am using wet glue. Whether that's a good decision or not, I don't know, but I will find out eventually. And I am going to choose to put my glue onto the circle, and I'm wondering if I should use tape as well. Ooh, no, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to go a little bit at a time and glue it down onto the circle. So I'm going to do the first part, and then I'm going to vanish, and hopefully my camera's not going to cut off again. Otherwise this video is going to be in 3 parts. What a calamity. Right, so I'm going to the outside of my circle. And I'm sticking that down there. I hope you can see. So I'm going to hold this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went around slowly, and if you look in there you can see how you glue it. Now, because I want my outer bottom edge to look tidy, I'm just giving that a squish down. You can see my humidity here. See that? It's buckles on the areas that I've glued, and that area there has come unstuck. But that's just, you know, Florida humidity. I'm actually going to put a little bit more glue underneath that. And I think one of the other things I'm going to do this weekend is I'm going to make it again, because I want to see if there's an easier way. And I think that maybe for me personally, because of humidity, it's not using glue. It's going to be using double-sided tape, so that I've got no wavy bits or bits coming unstuck. Because as you can see, you've still got to be able to get your hand into that to manipulate it. So I'm sticking that there just to make sure that it's properly stuck. And it is. Now I want to finish my bottom off, as I said, and I'm going to use a little bit of lace. So all I'm going to do is go around the base of this just to tidy it up. And I'm going to go around this a little bit at a time, just like I glued it before. And then I'm going to try and shape it better in my humidity, and I will come right back. Okay, so camera is still working, and I've got my lacy bottom on all the way around. Now you can see where it was glued there. We've now got to put our second circle in. That's your decorative one. So I'm just going to pop some glue onto the back of that, move that over there. And we're going to get that down into the bottom. So I'm hoping that you can see on camera. I'm going in sideways, and then I'm going to utilise my little doorway, and I've got my bone folder tool just to kind of pop it over. There we go. So now we've got our circle in, we need to make sure that that is down flat. So I'm just using my bone folder, because at the moment it's quite a long way down in there. So we've got the base in, and now all you have to do to get your cage shape is to bring these pieces over. So that's where my bit of green twine is going to come into it, I hope. And I'm thinking if they all layer like that, going one across the other. So I'm going to keep my twine on the outside. I've cut it longer than needed, and I'm just going to go through the top section. So I'm not going under, over, I'm just going straight through on the outsides of my circles. I'm going to try that for 3, and yeah, that's the way that you're going to want to go. So just keeping your twine on the outside of your circles or your ribbon, and I'm hoping you can see this. So you're not going under, over, you're just bringing your twine back to the front to go through the front of those little holes. As soon as I grab my twine again. And then I'm hoping, if I get to that bit, that when you pull it, yeah, they all come into the centre, which is what you want. Right, I'm going to finish threading my holes and I'll be right back. Right, so I finished doing that, and I've got hold here of both ends of my twine. Now I'm hoping we're going to be able to pull this, yeah, and it's just going to concertina neatly in on itself. So let's have, oh yeah, so that's what you're looking for. Now I don't know, it could be that that one can go over there. So you've got this, oh, I hope that's not blurred, there you go. You've got that lovely kind of rosette finish there. Now obviously we need to be able to hold that in place, so we're going to knot the twine. And pull it. Don't pull it too hard because you don't want to tear your paper. And then once you've done that, I would knot it again before doing a bow, just to make sure that it's all nice and tidy. There you go. My camera seems very, very staggered. I don't know what it looks like to you. We're not allowed to watch our own YouTube videos on YouTube because you can get banned for doing that. But I've got my lovely bit of green twine here, and I'm going to turn it to the side now. You can see that some of the humidity is going away now, so they're straightening out. But my experience, for me personally, and if you live somewhere humid, is to use adhesive, double-sided adhesive tape to put those two ends together, because if you use glue, it's going to be a bit wavy for a couple of hours while it's drying. So, you know, that was relatively easy to do, I have to say. And it has got a lovely neat finish on the top. Now I do think my bow is a bit too big, so I'm just going to reduce that down, and then I'm going to get my scissors and just trim those bits off. There, I'm happy with that, and I hope that you can see I have tried to get as close as possible. Now the next bit, line it on its side, is the fun bit, which is decorating and deciding, you know, the biggest element in this is going to be that smaller butterfly. So I'm just grabbing that, you know, and kind of, you do want it, I think, at the front for a bold statement. You can have it, you know, faced upwards. I kind of do like that in that area. But I noticed that in the gold swirly twirly ones that you get, you do get a double. So you've got singles, and then you've got one that's crossed over. See that? That one is connected. So I'm kind of wondering how that's going to look above my doorway. And I really do like that. So I'm going to put a dot of glue here and have that kind of just adorning the doorway. And you can, of course, decorate however you want to. So I've got that pretty little thing going on there. And as I said, I did cut all the leaves out. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all, but I'm thinking of making a couple of elements that might come up here. So what I like to do is I like to stack stuff before putting it down. So I've moved that out of the way just to glue it. And then I'm going to think about arrangements that can go either side of my little arched doorway. So I've got those gold bits and I've got my green bits. And I'm just going to think about how they're going to be. I know that I want my golds because gold just makes stuff look really special. And you do get these facing different directions, which is really helpful. So I've got these here, which I think look quite nice. And I will make them identical. And then I've got my ferny bits, which I used marker to colour in, just to make them, you know, a shade or two darker to stand out. So I'm kind of doing this on my desk so that I can then go away and come back and show you. So I'm going to go with that one there. So I've kind of got two little elements there, but I've got lots of other little bits to stack around too. So as you can see those, I'm just going to glue them down. Now people who watch my videos know exactly what I do. I kind of tend to move stuff out of the way. I'll do this bit really quickly. And I just put a little blob of glue and then I just start stacking things up just to make a full embellishment. Like that will go there. And I'm looking at the other one that I've got over there. And then I think I'd go like there. So you just put in little blobs of glue where you want them. But when you've finished, you pick it up, you've got a whole piece. So I'm going to kind of go like that for a bit. Because you've still got to think about the height of your cage. And I've still got other elements I can stick down if I want to. So you're quite literally making yourself a little cluster that you can pick up whole and glue down. So I'm going to go with this one as well. And I'm going to let those dry. I'm going to make this one and I'll come right back and we'll glue those bits onto the cage. Okay, so I finished those and as you can see, you know, it's just one big element like that. And I'm just going to get my baby wipe and get that bit of glue there. Some kitchen paper. So that you've got a whole little embellishment that you can just pick up and pop down. So let's bring the cage back in and decide whereabout we're going to have those. Can you see the humidity now? It's starting to dry out and straighten up. But if you wanted, you know, instant gratification, then I'm afraid in a humid place, use double-sided tape. So I'm going to go here and I've got some glue on. And I'm going to pick up my first cluster and I'm going to pop it to there. So that now we've got that. And I'm going to grab my second cluster, a little bit of glue again, and we're going to pop that on onto there. So that you're starting to build up your decoration on your cage. Now, once again, I'm just going to pause while this dries. And I'll be right back. Right, so that's where we're at so far. We've got the little gold bit there. And then we've got the other decoration there. Now, I've got 5 of these. So I'm going to go along the top section here. And I'm going to start with, oh, well, I've got 3 facing, I'm going to say left. So I'm going to put one there. Let's pop it over to there. And then I'm going to put a blob of glue. I am going to glue the tips down in a second. And then I'm going to go to there. So we've got that bit going on now. I'm just building up decoration. Right, I'm just going to glue these two tips down and I'll come right back. Right, so those are glued onto there. So this is where we're at now. The next thing I want to do is put a few pearls in the centre of these flowers. I'll just do a couple for those who've never done it before, and then I'll go off and do the others that I want. And of course I will let them dry. So I've got some larger ones and slightly smaller ones here. And I just think this is a nice little, you know, finishing touch. So I'm going to go and do a few more flowers with pearls and I will be right back. Okay, so I've pearled up all my little flowers, and bringing the cage in again, I'm going to decide where exactly I want my butterfly. And I think I'm going to go there. So I want to put my butterfly down before I put my flowers down. So I'm just going to flip it over, and if my glue bottle is working, there we go. I've got a good little blob of glue onto there. Now once again, this is something that I'm going to have to hold and then come back. Think about, you know, how you're gifting it and how you want it to look. Right, I'm going to go right there and I'll see you in a minute. Right, I think that's dry enough, and while I was gone I also glued two more little bits of ferny bits there just on the arch of that doorway because there are so many bits left. Now it's going to be time for the flowers, so I'm going to try and put it there. Let's use my pearls to stop it from rolling. How's that? Right, I know that I want a flower right in the middle of this cross of leaves. Now I know that I've also got an air blockage in my glue bottle, so I'm going to go there for my first flower. Just move that along. So I'm going to have that on there like that, and then I'm just going to be decorating the whole thing up with flowers. Like I'm going to go one there and I'm going to go one down there. So I will use up most of these. Put one into there, and then I think I'll go a large one on the other side. And I'll keep decorating my flowers and I will be right back. Right, so everything is almost dry and I'm so glad, yeah, that the camera has got me this far. So that is the top of the cage, and then the decoration, I'm going to move it slowly. I will take a photo for the beginning of the video. So we've got our butterfly on there, we've got our floral decoration, and I added an extra little bit of green up to there coming behind that flower. And of course, if you watched part one, which is where the camera cut off on me, you will have seen that one, because I did a bit of a matchy card. Yeah, right. I thank you for sticking with me. I do hope you have a fabulous weekend, and as usual, all links below. Bye.